Good evening. This is Susan. This is Susan's Ramblings. A couple of days ago, I said that I was going to make up some dehydrated food soups. I haven't gotten that done yet, but I have my recipes for my soups, and I just haven't had time to change them over to the dehydrated foods ratio yet. I will give you the recipes as they are now, and by the end of the week, by the end of next week, hopefully, I will have up dehydrated recipes, and also have them in my packages, in my bags. But for now, here's my soup recipes. Cheeseburger soup. 1/2 pound of ground beef or turkey. 4 tablespoons of butter divided. 3/4 cups of onion chopped. 3/4 cup of shredded carrots. 3/4 cups of diced celery. 1 teaspoon of dried basil. 1 teaspoon of dried parsley flakes. 1 3/4 pound or 4 cups of diced peeled potatoes. 3 cups of chicken broth. 1/4 cup of flour. 2 to 4 cups of Velveeta shredded. 1 1/2 cups of milk. 3/4 teaspoon of salt. 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. 1/4 cup of sour cream. In a large saucepan, cook and crumble the ground beef or turkey until no longer pink. Remove the meat from the pan and drain the grease. In the same pan, melt 1 tablespoon of butter. Cook the onion, carrots, celery, basil, and parsley until the vegetables are tender, about 10 minutes. Add the potatoes, broth, and ground beef to the pan. Bring to a boil. Reduce heat, cover, and simmer until the potatoes are tender, 10 to 12 minutes. In a small skillet, melt 3 tablespoons of butter. Add the flour and cook, stirring constantly until the raw flour flavor is gone, at a minute or 2. Add the flour and butter mixture to the soup. Bring the soup to a boil, stirring constantly until the soup has thickened. Reduce the heat to low. Stir in the cheese, milk, salt, and pepper, stirring constantly until the cheese is melted. Remove from the heat and stir in the sour cream. Add cooked bacon for a bacon cheeseburger soup. Also, if you don't have the Velveeta, don't worry about it. Use whatever cheese you have available. That's cheese that will melt, have a low melting point. Sweet potato soup. I love sweet potatoes. Or yams. They're the same, I believe, except they're called different names, and why they do that, I have no idea. But anyway, they seem to be plentiful and at a reasonable price compared to the regular potatoes. So maybe we better switch over to sweet potatoes. And you can use a sweet potato just like you can use a regular potato. You can boil it and mash it, bake it, do anything you want with it. It's basically like a potato, and it is, like I said, it's cheaper right now and more plentiful than the potatoes are. So, a sweet potato soup. 3 to 4 carrots. 2 sweet potatoes. 1 cup of red lentils. 4 1/4 cups of water or vegetable stock. 3 tablespoons of olive oil. 2 teaspoons of dried thyme. Salt and pepper to taste, and 3 bay leaves, optional. Peel your potatoes and peel the carrots and sweet potatoes. Cut into bite-sized pieces. Heat the olive oil in a Dutch oven. Add your potatoes and carrots to the pan. Allow to cook 5 to 6 minutes. Add the lentils and flour or water or vegetable stock. Bring to a boil. Reduce your heat and simmer for 20 to 25 minutes until the vegetables are soft. You're cooking them ahead of time with the olive oil is going to add an extra layer of flavor to it. Okay, so don't skip that. Skim the foam if necessary, and yes, you might have foam because of the potatoes. Just skim it off, and then you will keep your nice orange color. Let cool slightly. Use an immersion blender to puree. If you use a regular blender or a food processor, you will have to puree the vegetables in batches. But make sure it's not too hot, because otherwise you're going to get burned. Alright? And return to the pan if necessary to warm through. If you have an immersion blender, use that. Then you won't have to worry about it cooling. You won't have to worry about it being too hot. The immersion blender for me is a lifesaver, okay? So that's what I would use. Of course, if you don't want to puree them, I don't know why you have to puree them if you don't want to. If you want just the soup like that, that's fine with me. I don't care. 3 ingredients sweet potato soup. 1 cup of onions chopped. 1 red bell pepper chopped. 1 sweet potato chopped. Water or vegetable broth to cover. Salt and pepper to taste. Roughly chop the vegetables. Add to the saucepan. Use enough water or broth to cover the vegetables. The amount of liquid used will determine the thickness of the soup. Less liquid equals thicker soups. Cover, blend, bring to a boil. Reduce heat. Simmer until the vegetables are tender, 15 to 20 minutes. Cool slightly. Using a blender, puree vegetables. Use an immersion blender if available. Return to heat and heat through if necessary. This soup you can add any kind of seasonings you want. Well, I just added the salt and pepper, but if you want a Mexican one, add the Mexican spices. The Italian spices. Use coconut milk instead of water or vegetable broth. Or roast your vegetables with olive oil before you put them in the soup, and you have a further flavor layer if you desire. Okay, chicken Gnocchi soup. 1 pound boneless, skinless chicken breast cut into bite-sized pieces. 1/3 cup of butter divided. 1 onion chopped. 1 carrot shredded. 1 celery stalk chopped. 2 garlic cloves minced. 1/3 cup of flour. 3 1/2 cups of milk. 3 1/2 cups of milk. 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon granules. 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. 1 package, 16-ounce package, of potato Gnocchi. 1 1/2 cup of fresh spinach chopped. In a Dutch oven, brown the chicken in 2 tablespoons of butter. Remove from the pan and keep warm. In the same pan, cook onions, carrots, celery, and garlic in the remaining butter until it's tender. Whisk in the flour until blended. Gradually stir in the milk, the bouillon cubes, and pepper. Bring to a boil. Reduce heat, stirring constantly, until the soup reaches the desired consistency, 2 or 3 minutes there. Add the Gnocchi and the spinach. Cook until the spinach begins to wilt, which is 3 to 4 minutes. Add your chicken back into the soup. Cover the pan, and simmer until heated through about 10 minutes. But do not boil it, okay? So those are the 4 soup ones that I have right now. Like I said, give me the end of the week, and I will have the dehydrated recipes for you using these same soups. Okay? I have other soups that I'm going to do. Tomorrow I'll bring you some more. But for today, those are the soups you want. Have a great day. God bless.